Yo, what's good YouTube? This is Jay from TNJ, and welcome to the Super Bowl here in season number 2 in the Miami Dolphins franchise. The Cincinnati Bengals defeated the Dolphins to get to the Super Bowl in the AFC Championship, and now they will face Sam Darnold and the Carolina Panthers, surprising the NFL. They are very good in real life this year. Maybe they can keep it up. We'll have to see how they do. Now, Christian McCaffrey led the NFL with 20 rushing touchdowns, tied with Terrence Pitt Howard for the lead. They also had Calais Campbell getting after the passer, 16.5 sacks. Brian Burns also had 13.5. They also had Hassan Riddick, Yetur Gross-Matos, and Sheldon Rankins. I mean, this was one of the best defensive fronts in football. But they will have to take on a great offense in Joe Burrow, Joe Mixon, Devontae Adams, Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins, and Hayden Hurst, along with the rookie, and that is Jamar Chase. He will be excellent. We'll see what he can do in the slot this year. So here we go. Let's see what Joe Burrow has on the first drive. This one will be a sack right away by Lawrence. This is a different pass rusher this time, not the other two we mentioned with Calais Campbell and Brian Burns. 2nd and 23 now. Here is Burrow throwing to the right side. He's going to have his man T. Higgins on the sideline, bringing it to a 3rd and 5 at the 26. Quick throw, and that is caught by Joe Mixon for the first. Joe Burrow starts out this game 4 of 4. So now at their own 41, a 2nd and 2, rolling to left, throwing all the way back to the right, and he's got Adams open across the 50. He gets to about the 33-yard line. 6 of 6 to start this game for Joe Burrow. He converts to Devontae, who signed with them in the offseason. Play action fake now, throwing to the right side, inside the 11. It will be a 1st and goal. So now here they go as they get sacked and brought back to the 18 for a 2nd and 17. Here's a throw to the right side. This one will be caught. It is going to be a touchdown. Trevor Jones, who is their 5th string receiver, gets in for the touchdown. And it's going to make it a 7-0 game. That's his first touchdown of the season. Now on the next drive in the 2nd quarter, here is Jesse Bates. He gets an interception, picking off Sam Darnold. Now take a look at this acrobatic play by Jesse Bates. He goes over the top of Christian McCaffrey and just snags it from him. It's just amazing how that happened. How does Christian McCaffrey let that go right through his hands? And now it is a 7-0 game, and the Bengals are threatening to score in the 2nd quarter. But here is the pressure getting to Burrow. It's Sheldon Rankins who comes up with the sack. That's a loss of 9 yards. They will have to settle for 3 points on that drive. But this Carolina offense struggled all day long. Here is Darnold throwing deep. He's got a man in the end zone, and it will be dropped. You've got to be kidding me. That was their best chance to score, and now here they are under 2 minutes. Here's a deep shot, one-on-one for DJ Moore, and it will be knocked away. And now here are the Bengals at the end of the first half with possession, but the pressure gets to him, and he will go down. Burrow has been sacked a lot today, 3 in the first half. So into the 3rd quarter now, still getting shut out, but Darnold under pressure. This will be a sack as Emmanuel Ogbah, the former Miami Dolphin, will have to exit the game, and he will go to the locker room. He has not made an impact today, neither has Trey Hendrickson, really. Here is the 3rd and 15. This is going to be a sack. Sam Hubbard out of Ohio State gets to the quarterback, and Darnold is absolutely getting shut down on offense. Too bad they dropped that touchdown pass in the first half. Here is Jamar Chase getting open. He picks up a 1st down, now to the 42. Quick throw across the middle. This time it's Devontae Adams. He gets it to the 30-yard line. Another 1st down for the Cincinnati offense. Can they put some more points on the board here at the end of the 3rd quarter? In the pocket, Burrow throws to the end zone. This one will fall incomplete. He was looking for Trevor Jones again, and they settle for 3 points. I guess they're going after a guy that nobody's really worried about in this game, but that's going to be a sack by Sam Hubbard, his 2nd of the day. Carolina only has 68 total yards, and we're into the 4th quarter. Here's a screen pass on a 3rd and 13, and Darnold is just off today. They have the 3rd-ranked offense in the NFL, only 122 yards of total offense in the 4th quarter. Burrow back out onto the field. Here's a deep shot. looking for Chase, and it's going to be a touchdown. How about that throw by Joe Burrow? Getting behind the defense is Chase, and they are going to score a lot of touchdowns in their careers together. Jamar Chase drags a foot. It is now 21-0. Can Carolina get some points on the board at all? This one will be a sack. He tries to turn around and roll out to the left side, but Malik Reed was right there to meet him. It's now a 2nd and 18. Play action fake for Darnold. Still haven't gotten anything on the board yet. Throw down the right side, and it's going to be picked off. Rasul Douglas. That will be the game. The Cincinnati Bengals do what I don't know if any team has done in NFL history, and they have won the Super Bowl by shutout. 21-0. Incredible game by Burrow, finding Jamar Chase. It was an excellent offensive game for the Bengals, and also excellent defense. You got to give it up to that defense. They absolutely shut down the Panthers. And here we go. Season 2 is officially in the books. The Bengals end up beating us, and then I guess I feel a little bit better. They ended up winning the Super Bowl. Christian McCaffrey only had 7 for 24 in this game. I think the progressive fatigue bug kicked in, and this was before the recent Madden update, so hopefully that is fixed. Either way, I will have that setting off going into next season because I don't really trust Madden fixing bugs right now. And now we look forward to the offseason. Now, the final standings had the Jets last and 49ers second to last. That means that the Dolphins acquired that 2023 pick from the San Francisco 49ers. We have the number 2 overall pick in this upcoming draft. It's going to be incredible. We have 2 first-round picks, one at the bottom of the first round, one at the top of the first round. You can just see the rest of our picks here. We have a 2nd, 3rd, 5th, 6th, and 7th. And as we look at this draft board and look at these players, this draft is incredibly deep. And I am going to be looking to acquire more picks for this draft. Now, I did rename you guys to this first draft class, and just a full disclosure here, we will run this draft in the offseason in this save, and then we will see who we draft, and then restart with the new scouting update, and I will get it up to speed on this current roster, so everybody that's on our roster will still be on our roster, everything like that. So I will get that up to date, but let me know down in the comment section if you see your guy here renamed. You guys did submit these guys a couple of episodes ago, and I renamed all of the first round projected guys. There's no guarantee you will go in the first round, but projected guys. And here are about the top 50 prospects. You can just see there are a lot of good players. You can see a lot of green gems. I found a lot of guys that are late in the draft that are actually graded at least higher than they should be projected wise. So let's get into looking at some of these top prospects as we preview the NFL draft. Now, the top quarterback in this draft is Cannon Peterson. He has a cannon. I mean, exactly what his name is. He is excellent. Out of Louisville, he is 6'5". He has the prototypical size. He has the prototypical arm. He is amazing. Now, he did play in more of like a spread offense with Louisville, but I don't think it's anything to be worried about. He shows that he can write plays up on the chalkboard. He can draw up, audibles. He can make pre-snap adjustments like a NFL quarterback should. He has good pass protection all the time in college, which is a little worrisome because, how will he do with switching up his pass protection at the NFL level? But this guy is clearly the top guy, at least at quarterbacks in the draft. There is a left tackle in Martz. He is definitely the top player in this draft. No question about it. So the Jets picking number 1. They don't need quarterback. They're going to go Jakari Martz with their number 1 pick, but look out for Cannon to be that second guy off the board. Now, out of South Carolina, sticking with quarterbacks, is Jordan Middleton. The guy can flat out fly. You can just see right here, read option to the house like it's nothing in the rain. I mean, just absolutely flying. I mean, look at this. The defensive end is there to read it. He still has the burst to get past him. I don't know what the safety was doing on that play, but he just straight up did not see that Middleton had the ball. Now, I think the biggest question with Middleton is, can he make NFL throws? Because a lot of his throws are read option, are RPOs, and guys are usually wide open. So that's going to be the one thing. Can he read defenses at the NFL level and make those NFL type throws in tight windows? But one thing we know, he can run. Now in that game, we also checked out a defensive end, and that is LAMAR NEAL, who is projected to go number 8 on the big board. He is very, very good. And one thing about him is that teams are projecting that he will be kind of a project because he is kind of a one-year wonder. He had an excellent senior season, so he is going to be on a lot of teams' radars. So you got to watch out for him going into this draft. He has a good motor. That's the one good thing that he has going for him. One thing that a lot of guys don't have going into NFL. Watch out for LAMAR NEAL. He has B+ power moves and B+ tackling. Now, the one safe quarterback in this draft, he is actually number 5 on the big board as far as quarterbacks go rankings. It's Nate Wilson. He can make all the throws. He is honestly Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan went to Boston College. I think that Nate Wilson that's a good comparable right there, Matt Ryan. And I think he's going to have a successful NFL career. He can make all the throws. If he goes to a good situation where he can come in and compete, I think that this guy is a safe pick. He has excellent accuracy. He's only 6'1", but I'm not really worried about that nowadays. Height doesn't truly matter like it used to, because now they're designing offenses to get guys out of the pocket, utilize even if they are a little smaller. A couple of tackles out of Notre Dame in this game, in this rivalry game, Notre Dame versus Boston College. Marshall is an excellent left tackle. He's a kind of a project, I would say, but he plays on a very good offensive line. But look at this play right here. Just not even giving 97 any type of room to get free. I mean, that's the type of mauler he is. He is huge at 6'6". CARSON Mullen is their right tackle as well. He is excellent, 6'5", 307. He can play anywhere on the line. He can play right tackle, left guard, right guard, wherever you decide to move him. He's going to be a guy that's going to be a versatile lineman, and I like him a lot. We'll see how talented he is at the NFL level, but he is a first-round projected pick. Now let's look at the top defensive guy on the big board, and it is going to be Luke Levy out of TCU. He is older, 24 years old, but he is excellent. Let me tell you something. If you're looking for a guy that's going to make plays all around, you're thinking Tyrann Mathieu. You're thinking guys that like Devin Hester, who can return kicks and play receiver. Levy can do everything. He can play a little bit of receiver. He can play a little bit of punt return. He can play kick return. He can also play a little bit of corner. He is excellent in zone coverage. He was actually a Heisman finalist. And seeing that he had 10 interceptions on the year, you can see right here his returnability versus Texas Tech. He is excellent. And he's a guy that is going to make a team really, really happy at the top of the first round. He is right now number 2 on the big board. We'll see what he comes in overall wise, because he doesn't really have a solidified position. Now, there was one guy at the top of our board that we did not rename, and it was Sherwin Finney. The reason why we did not rename him is because he had the first draft story in this series. Yeah, I guess in this series, because in season 1, I didn't really look at that at all. In season 2, I did, and Sherwin Finney is the son of a legendary coach. So I decided not to rename him, and I want to keep an eye on him, because usually these draft story guys end up being hidden dev trait, end up being very good. And I like Sherwin Finney a lot. He can get after the quarterback. And one thing that I like about him is that he just creates pressure. He doesn't have to get to the quarterback, but he just creates pressure just with his presence. And I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do at the NFL level. He's definitely a guy that I'm considering at number 2 overall. Another guy I'm considering here is Darnell Peoples. He is an excellent cover corner. Now, if you know Uncle Sam's Reject, he did a RTG on Darnell Peoples. It was excellent. Go check that out. He ran it for, I believe it was like, 30 episodes or so. It was a very good series. Go check it out. He is an excellent returner, 6'3". He has the speed. He also has the ball skills. I mean, what can't the guy do? He can do everything. He can cover, and he's definitely a guy I am considering with that number 2 overall pick. Not a lot of teams want to try him at the NFL level, because he had a NCAA record 14 interceptions in a season. I mean, the guy is just a ball hawk. You can just see right here, 14 was the record at Oregon. I guess it wasn't the NCAA record, but it's a record at Oregon, and he is a guy to look out for in this upcoming draft. Now, Andrew Warmack is very, very interesting here. He is projected to be a mid-second rounder, but A- power moves, B+ tackle, B+ pursuit, and he is an early first-round talent. I think those three guys right there are the three guys I'm considering. Warmack, Peoples, and also Sherwin Finney. It's going to be interesting. We can do a lot with this pick. We can even trade back because a lot of these guys are projected to be in the late first round projected or even the early second round, like Lloyd Hargrove. Early first round talent. He's a second round projection. I mean, some team is going to be very happy. Maybe us. We might go after receiver. Who knows? I think we have the flexibility to do that in this draft. Now, Bryce Thomas is interesting. He's a guy that I will probably look out for in probably the third or so round because he is a third round talent, but a fifth round projection. So if he drops to like the fourth round, we will be very lucky to scoop him up, but we'll see what the plan is. I really don't have a plan right now. Luke Newman is another top safety along with Nicholas McAllister. Both of those guys will be very, very good as well. And then there's James Jackson Jr. at middle linebacker. He is excellent out of Wisconsin. And you can just see his top skills, tackle, hit power, and pursuit. He's a thumper. He's going to get after the football along with Darius BASKETT. Both of these guys are very, very good. I wonder who's going to be better because they both look very, very comparable. I guess it's going to come down to the measurables. Who's going to have a good 40 time? Who's going to have a good combine? We'll have to see. Now, moving down the board here as we move to kind of our late round projections here for our prospects on our big board. Greg Edwards is an interesting left tackle. I am not in the market right now for offensive line just because I thought our offensive line played a lot better than expected. I'm not going to look to replace anybody. Marcus Levingston out of Iowa is here. He is a fourth round projection, but a mid-third round talent. So he is very interesting. I want to keep an eye out on him in the draft to see if he slips to that fourth round. If he is, I might scoop him up though. We did see a slew of injuries on our offensive line this year, so it's definitely something I want to draft, but it's not going to be in the first couple of rounds. I think it's going to be, between 3 and 7, somewhere between there. Another defensive end is Bryce Hilton out of Central Michigan. He's 21 years old, hit power at A-, B power moves, and B pursuit. Good mid-third round talent. I think that he's a guy that we could be looking out for because he's a 7th round projection, so he could be around late in this draft. Then there's Derek Shelton and Quentin Ridgeway, 2 offensive linemen. Like I said, these are the rounds that I'm looking for guys on the offensive line, and especially just for depth. So that will do it for our draft board. So that will do it for the draft preview and the guys that we are looking out for. I want to quickly show you guys the sliders that we used the last couple of games in the playoffs. I really liked them. They played well. Now, I'm not sure, but I might switch back to controlling the defensive line because I do want more of a challenge. I do think it's kind of unrealistic that I was able to go to the AFC Championship in year 2 already, and I want to have a little bit of a challenge. I'm not trying to lose on purpose. Don't get it twisted like that. But what I'm saying is that I do want some competition. I do want it to be tough. I want it to be a true rebuild. So going back to controlling the defensive line might help there. I'm not really sure. But we're going to try it out at least for like the first 4 games with these sliders and see how it goes. If our defense just starts giving up a huge amount of points unrealistically, which I don't know if it'll happen, but it could. We'll see. So that will do it here in the draft preview episode and also the Super Bowl. Congratulations to the Bengals, and we'll see what happens because we are looking to build this team through the draft. Like I said, my plan in the offseason is to acquire more draft picks, so I definitely want to do that. We do have salary cap room, but I am looking towards the draft. We had an excellent year offensively and defensively. We'll look to definitely build on that going into this season. So hit subscribe, hit that like button, stay tuned. Let's get it. Let's go.